This video is going to be really, really hard because I'm picking the locks for the tour to South Africa for the British and Irish Lions, and the competition for places here is absolutely fierce, to the point that I guarantee you will disagree with at least one of the selections I make, and that will go for everybody that watches. So that's why there's a comment section. Tell me where I got it wrong. Let's have a bit of a chat there. But before I get into the actual selections, I just want to look at the squad composition, because I've been talking about the fact Warren Gatland took 39 players to New Zealand, when in fact he took 40. I looked back at the squad today, and he took 21 forwards and 19 backs. I was quite surprised to see so many outside backs in the squad that went to New Zealand. The caveat there would be one of them was Jared Payne, who was, a back. Well, he was a fullback and centre. And to be fair, utility players are going to be worth their weight in gold on this tour, and that will definitely come into play when we're talking locks in a second. But I think I'm only guessing how Warren Gatland might build his squad for South Africa, but I've gone on the basis that he might have a few fewer back three players, one fewer forward, and on that basis I'm going to try and pick 5 locks now in this video. But I'm going to start with some straight off the bat. We've got that many locks. I'm just going to pick some that I'm going to move out of consideration at this point, and one of those being, well, 5 of those being Scott Cummins, great player for Scotland; Ryan Baird for Ireland; Johnny Hill, what a left boot and a good player for club and country; Jake Ball, ferocious guy, off to Australia. This would have been his swan song. And Joe Launchbury. Now, Joe Launchbury, I would put him as an exception here. He would absolutely be in the mix for a seat on the plane were he fit. And heartbreaking injury that he had, especially as he was England's best player in the autumn and missed the opportunity to play in the Six Nations and prove that form had continued. And he missed out 4 years ago. If anyone deserved a bit of luck, it was Joe Launchbury. Sadly, he's not got that this time. So I don't see those 5 in competition for one of the 5 spots. So we're left with England's Maro Itoje and Courtney Lawes. Ireland, 3 players in this mix: Ian Henderson, Tadhg Beirne and James Ryan. Johnny Gray of Scotland, Alan Wynne-Jones and Adam Beard of Wales. I mean, you could pretty much take any 5 of those, pick them at random, and you'd be pretty happy. It's outstanding options. I didn't really know where to start, but this is where I went. I took out Adam Beard and Johnny Gray. Okay, so the only other thing I considered was Courtney Lawes and Johnny Gray. I couldn't decide which way to go. I love Courtney Lawes, and he's a potential back row option, ferocious tackler. But then Johnny Gray, just what an engine that man has. So I'd genuinely be happy with either of those. When I looked at Ian Henderson, I know he looks like a giant baby, but he's a massive man, and he is hard as nails. And I thought he had a great Six Nations for Ireland. I think he's been excellent for a while now. I really, really like him. I'd have him on tour. Really good character as well. James Ryan. Everyone's been talking for the last 4 years about the James Ryan, Maro Itoje axis. And, a year ago, even 6 months ago, we might have been saying, well, Alan Wynne possibly played himself out of a tour. But that Maro Itoje, James Ryan axis might be being split, and one of them missing out to Alan Wynne-Jones, who's just returned in imperious form, led his Wales side to a championship, and, well, showing no signs of ageing yet. 141 caps, is it, and counting? The interesting thing when I talked about utility players is the fact that in the case of Maro Itoje, Courtney Lawes and Tadhg Beirne, you've got a back row option there, which may mean that Warren Gatland can take 6 locks, knowing that half of them could be a back row option, which when you're thinking about, managing resources for teams and keeping people fresh, playing midweek sides, that could be the way that Warren Gatland goes. He could end up taking 6. On the basis, though, that he's taking 5, and on the basis that I couldn't pick between Johnny Gray and Courtney Lawes, there are my 5. And to make up for no Irish hookers, there's 3 Irish locks to go along with what I think will probably be the test starting lock pair of Maro Itoje and Alan Wynne-Jones. Although, as I say, I wouldn't be surprised to see Maro Itoje at 6 on the odd occasion, and certainly would not be surprised to see Tadhg Beirne in the back row, even in a Test Lions starting jersey, but we will get on to the back rows in the next video. Hit subscribe, hit like, share, leave your comments. See you on the next one.